So we focus on the breathing. Oh, I have an urge to move today. This is gonna be good. All right, so just start focusing on breathing in and out through the nose, sending the breath deep into the body. Exhaling everything out completely. And then raising the legs up into the air and just pointing and flexing the feet. Spend a couple of breaths doing that, weakening up the back of the body, the legs. And then if you need to, you can place the hands underneath the glutes just to keep the low back on the floor. We'll do some leg lifts. So point the toes, use the abs on the exhale, legs come down. On the inhale, they come up. Exhale, they come down. It's working into the lower abdominals. Let's do a few more. Try to keep the low back nice and flat on the ground. And two more. And then just drawing the knees into the chest, keeping the knees nice and wide, drawing them up the armpits, spine long, chin parallel to the wall in front of you. Just rock back and forth, side to side, just doing a couple circles. And go in the opposite direction. And then we're gonna do our rock and roll. So again, placing the hands behind the knees and pointing the toes, keep the chest open, lifting up through the shoulders, and just taking a rock back and forth, massaging the length of the spine. And then we're going to keep working into the abdominals, just to get them warmed up. So on your next rock up, come right into boat pose. Extend the legs. You can reach the legs out, keeping them nice and long. Breathing in here. And then crossing the legs and just coming into a seated position. We're just going to do some hip rotations. So placing the hands on top of the knees, keep the spine nice and long. Exhale, just rotate around. Breathing in as you lift up and exhaling out as you come down. I'm just going to check on Tegan and see if the link worked okay for her. So you can just keep doing the rolls briefly. And then you can just switch directions. Rolling in and out, moving with the breath. And then we'll sit up nice and tall. And then from here, we'll spread the legs nice and wide. Again, sit up tall. Bring the hands to the side of the body. Keep the crown of the head lifting up. Engage the core. Rotate and try to reach the toes on the opposite side with the opposite hand. Lift up, rotate back to the front. Exhale down. Lift back up. Rotate. Just try to keep the back nice and long, getting that rotation from the inner abdomen and from the legs. Feeling that strength coming from the hamstrings and the hip flexors. Keep breathing in and out here. And two more. One on each side. And then from here, keeping the legs in front of you, we're going to try and work on getting to jump through. So place the hands on the floor, cross the feet as you press into the hands, and try to think about swinging the legs underneath. I'm not quite there yet. And just rolling back, coming into your tabletop. And then inhale, looking up, coming in for cat-cow. Exhale, pushing down for your cow posture. Just moving with the breath. And then we're going to slowly move into down dog, just placing the heels on the ground, lengthening through the spine, wiggling one knee up and down, pedaling at the feet, walking the dog. You stay here, breathing into the back of the legs, nice and deep. Letting the head hang. Feeling the calf stretching, the hamstring stretching, the spine lengthening as you press down through the hands. Engaging the shoulders, lengthening through the spine, letting the head gaze at the knees or at the big toes. And then slowly step the feet towards the hands, coming to your forward fold. And just stay here for a few breaths. You can grab onto the elbows, just hang here, letting the back of the body continue to open. You can shift from side to side as well, getting into the sides of the body. You can practice doing a couple of half lifts, gazing up at the third eye, lengthening the spine, and then exhale, folding again. Just doing a few of those, moving with the breath, opening up the back of the legs. And then as the toes becomes available, maybe the hands can come flat on the floor. And you just start to rotate forward, toes to heels, letting the head hang. Pressing into the hands. Trying to lengthen through the arms, the upper body. Just keep opening up the back of the hamstrings. Starting to activate the shoulders as you press down slightly. Let's do it a few more times. Keep breathing. Try to let all the weight come onto the toes and the hands. You rotate down. And then inhale, looking halfway up. Again, folding a couple more times. Inhale, looking halfway up, gazing at the third eye. Exhale, folding. Inhale, looking up. Exhale, fold. Returning back to the fold, maybe pedaling with the legs, bending one knee at a time. Still opening up the hamstrings. And then slowly we'll rise all the way up. Coming into mountain, a slight back bend, and just holding the back bend briefly, looking at the thumbs. Putting the weight into the heels, into the toes, making sure the weight is spread evenly throughout the foot. And then coming back to our mountain posture. And then from here, we're going to take a deep breath. Coming into our mountain or our Tadasana, looking up at the thumbs, exhale, folding down. Inhale, lifting halfway up. Exhale, place the hands on the floor, step the left foot back, drop the left knee down to the ground. Rise all the way up, gazing at the thumbs. Exhale, fold, come up, step back to your plank, hold here, look straight ahead. Keep breathing. Drop the knees down to the floor. Swing the chest forward, coming into your chaturanga, moving into upward facing dog. And then exhale to your down dog. Then lift the left leg, step it between the hands, drop that right knee down to the floor. Rise all the way up, sinking into the hips. And then exhale, folding down. Lift the right knee and step back to your forward fold. Inhale, look halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up to the top, gazing at the hands, coming into a slight back bend, looking as far back with the eyes as possible, and then returning back to mountain. Inhale, lifting the hands up, gazing at the thumbs. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands. This time that right foot steps back, dropping the knee down to the ground, lifting up, sinking into the front leg, hip. Exhale, we fold. We can raise the right knee, and we step back to plank. We hold here. Squeeze in the abdominals. Exhale, bring the knees down. Take an inhale and sweep forward into your up dog. Exhale, your down dog. Take a deep inhale and lift that right leg. Step it between the hands. Drop the left knee down, sinking down into our lunge. Gazing up at the fingertips. Exhale, fold down. Lift the left knee off the floor. Step forward to your forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way to the top, gazing at thumbs. Slight back bend. Exhale, returning back to mountain. We'll do that again. So inhale, rising all the way up. Exhale, start to fold. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, plant the hands. Left leg comes behind you, knee comes down to the floor. Lift all the way up, gazing at the thumbs. Exhale, hands come to the floor, lift that left knee. Step the right foot back, coming into your plank. Holding here for a couple breaths. Exhale, drop the knees down. Inhale, scoop the chest forward, moving into upward facing dog. Exhale, rotate into your downward facing dog. Lift that left knee, step it between the hands, drop the right knee down to the floor. Come up for your lunge, maybe leaning back slightly if the hip is opening. Exhale, release the hands back down to the floor. Lift the right knee off, step forward, coming into your forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, we fold again. Inhale, rising all the way up, gazing at the thumbs. Hands come back to center. One last time with this one. Inhale, lifting all the way up, slight back bend. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, we lift halfway up. Exhale, plant the hands. This time the right foot comes back. We drop that knee down to the floor. Lifting up, looking at the thumbs. Bending backwards slightly. Hands come to the floor, lifting the right knee. Stepping back for plank. Holding here for a couple breaths. Exhale, drop the knees. Inhale, bring the chest forward, moving up to upward facing dog. Exhale, roll back to down dog. Deep inhale, step that right foot between the hands. Drop the left knee down to the floor. Lifting all the way up, coming into your lunge with a slight back bend. Exhale, hands come down to the floor. Lift the left knee up, step it next to the right foot. Coming into your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold down. Rising all the way up to the top. Gazing at the thumbs. And then exhale back to your mountain. And from here, we're going to move into Srinaswar B. So feet together. Inhale, hands come up, gazing at the thumbs. Exhale, we fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, plant the hands. Step or jump back to Chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Exhale to down dog. Stay here for just a couple of breaths. Deep dry breathing, breathing into the belly. Send the heels to the earth and the hips high. Bend the knees, flex the feet, step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, look halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way back up. Get the thumbs. And exhale down. So this time we're going to add in the warriors. So inhale, rising all the way up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look halfway up. Exhale, plant the hands. Step the feet back, Chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Exhale to down dog. Take a deep inhale, lift that right foot, step it between the hands, rising up for warrior one, sinking into that front leg, getting nice and low. Exhale, place the hands down, Chaturanga. Up dog. Exhale to down dog. Lift that left leg up in the air, step it between the hands, rising up for your warrior one, sinking down nice and low into that front leg. Exhale, plant the hands, step back for your Chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Exhale, roll back to down dog. Stay here for about 3 breaths. Really deep into the belly. Let that upper body sink down. Really pressing into the hands, getting that A shape. Lift the hips high, send the heels to the earth. Keep breathing in here, nice and deep. On the next inhale, bend the knees, flex the feet, step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, look halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, gazing at the thumbs. Exhale, return back to center. Take a deep inhale, standing all the way up, gazing at the thumbs. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, plant your hands, jump and step back for Chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Exhale to down dog. Take a deep inhale and lift that right leg. Step it between the hands. Sinking up to warrior one, getting as low as possible. Really getting into the hips. Breathing in deep here. Rotate that back foot, come into crescent lunge. Sink down a little lower. Keep holding. Exhale. Place the hands on the floor. Just step back for Chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Exhale to down dog. Lift that left leg high up in the air. Try to step it through. Make it warrior one on the other side. Sinking down nice and low. Feeling the strength in the legs, looking up if possible. Keep breathing into the belly. Rotate onto the back of the right leg, coming into crescent lunge and hold. Keep breathing. Exhale, plant the hands. Chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Exhale to down dog. Stay here for about 3 breaths. Send the breath deep into the belly. Lengthen the spine, look between the toes. Hips up, heels to the earth. Really get that A shape. Feel yourself sinking down with each exhale through the chest. Take a deep breath. Inhale. Step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, look halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, gazing at the thumbs. Exhale, back to mountain. Take a deep inhale, gazing at the thumbs. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, lifting halfway up. Exhale, planting the hands. Chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Exhale to down dog. Lift that right leg up. Step it between the hands. Sinking down to warrior one. Getting really nice and low. Breathing deep here. Exhale, rotate onto that back foot, sink a little lower. Keep holding. Keep sinking. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, rotate out to the side. Coming into revolved warrior or revolved crescent lunge. Hold. Inhale, rise all the way back up. Place the hands back on the floor. Step back for chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Exhale back to down dog. Take a deep inhale. This time that left leg lifts up. We bend the knee, step it between the hands. Rising up for warrior one, sinking nice and low. Keep breathing into the belly. Deep ujjayi breaths. Rotate onto the ball of that back foot, coming into crescent lunge. Sinking into that front hip. Exhale, rotate open for revolved crescent lunge. Looking over that back shoulder. Sinking down. Inhale, return back to center. Hands come down to the earth. Chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Exhale to down dog. Stay here for a couple clearing breaths. 3 deep breaths. We're going to do some cardiovascular stuff today, so a lot of vinyasa, so keep breathing. Keep letting the head sink down, the spine lengthen, heels come to the earth. Take a deep inhale, bend the knees, flex the feet, step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, look halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, gazing at the thumbs. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, lift all the way up, gazing at the thumbs. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, just jump or step back for your chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Exhale to down dog. Lift that right leg. Step it between the hands. Rising up for your warrior one. Sinking down nice and low. Rotate onto the ball of that back foot. Continue sinking. Keep breathing into the belly. Exhale, open up for revolved crescent lunge. Inhale, come back to center. Rotate that left foot back, moving into warrior two. Sinking into that front leg. Keep breathing here, nice and strong in the legs. Looking over the front fingertips, trying to keep the arms in line with the shoulders. Reaching through both arms. Exhale, roll back down. Chaturanga, upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. This time we lift the left leg, step it between the hands. Rising all the way up, coming into warrior one. Sinking into that front leg. Rotating onto the toes of the back leg. Warrior two. Sorry, warrior crescent lunge. Exhale, open up. Revolved crescent lunge. Sink forward into those legs. Keep breathing. Inhale, lift up. Drop that right leg down to the side. Warrior two, sink low. Keep breathing. Keep the arms up. Stay strong. Exhale, inhale the hands down. Step back for chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Exhale to down dog. Take 3 deep breaths here. Keep trying to send the heels to the earth, lifting the hips up, lengthening through the spine. Breathe deep into the belly. Take an inhale, bend the knees, flex the feet, step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, look halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, gazing at the thumbs. Exhale, back to center. Then from here, deep inhale, rising all the way up. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, lifting halfway up. Exhale, planting the hands. Jumping back for chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Exhale to down dog. Lift that back leg. Step it between the hands. Rising up to warrior one. Finding the strength. Rotating onto that back foot. Sinking down. Opening up to revolved. Breathing here. Exhaling back to center. Rotating into warrior two. Holding here. Deep breath. Lengthen that right leg. Try to keep those arms nice and strong. Reach forward, coming into triangle. Looking up at the hands. Breathing here, calming the heart rate down, opening up through the shoulder. Keep the legs nice and strong. Exhale, windmill the hands back down to the floor. Step back for chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Exhale to down dog. Lift that left leg up. Step it between the hands. Roll down to warrior one. Lifting up nice and high. Keep the ujjayi breath going. Use the breath to keep you strong. Rotate onto the toes of that back foot and sink. Exhale, open up warrior two, or crescent lunge. Exhale, back to center. Rotate into warrior two, keeping the arms nice and tall. In line with the shoulders. Exhale, come up tall. Lengthen that front foot. Reach forward, come into triangle. Breathing in deep here, looking up that right arm. Keep the breath moving into the belly. Exhale, rotate the hands down to the floor. Step or jump back for chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Exhale to down dog. Stay here for a couple deep clearing breaths. Keep sending the heels downward. Bend the knees, flex the feet, step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, gazing at the fingertips. Exhale, back to center. Take a clearing breath there. Inhale, raise the hands up, gazing at the thumbs. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, jump or step back for chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Exhale to down dog. Take a deep inhale, lift that right leg. Step it between the hands. Moving a little faster now. Rolling up into warrior one. Rotating onto the toes for a crescent lunge. Exhale, opening up to crescent lunge, revolved. Inhale, back to center, lifting. Exhale, dropping that left foot down, warrior two. Inhale, lengthening that front leg, reaching forward. Exhaling, dropping down. Lifting up through the shoulders. Inhale, lifting up. Rotating the feet a little bit closer together if you have to. Moving into revolved triangle. Rotating the opposite side. Looking up over that right hand. Make sure you find your balance first. Try to bring that hand to the outside shin and looking over the right shoulder. Staying here and breathing. Exhale, plant the hands. Step or jump back for your chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Take a deep breath. Lift that left leg. Step it between the hands. Coming up for warrior one, sinking down nice and low. Rotating onto that back foot. Opening up through the hip. Exhale, opening up to revolved crescent lunge. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, dropping down to warrior two. Inhale, lifting that left leg, reaching forward. Dropping down and opening up that shoulder. Staying here for a couple breaths. Inhale, lifting, maybe changing your stance just a little bit so you have the balance. Rotating the hips forward, lifting the arms, and coming down to revolve triangle. Looking over that left shoulder. Breathing in deep. Exhale, windmill the hands down. Chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. Stay here for a few deep clearing breaths. Really sending the heels to the earth. Maybe pedaling out the feet. Pushing down through the hands and the shoulders. Letting the head hang. Use the ujjayi breathing. Take a deep inhale. Bend the knees, flex the feet. Step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, look halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, gazing at the hands. Exhale, back to center. I think we're getting near the end of the Vinyasa series. Let's check it out. So, feet together. Inhale, raising the hands up. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, lifting halfway up. Exhale, jumping back for chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Exhale to down dog. Bend the right knee. Step it between the hands. Coming all the way up for warrior one, sinking down nice and low. Rotating onto the balls of the back foot. Exhale, opening up to revolved. Inhale back to center, rotating into warrior two. Inhale, straighten that front leg, reach forward for warrior, or for triangle. Looking up at the left hand. Inhale, lift all the way up, maybe change the stance slightly if you have to. Trying to keep the arms up, rotate, coming into triangle revolved, squeezing the midline of the body together. Exhale, return back to center. Lift up nice and tall, raise the hands. Shorten the stance slightly. Take a deep inhale, fold over that front leg. Breathing in nice and deep here. Try to tuck that right leg back into the pelvis, lengthening through the leg. Keep breathing. Exhale, plant hands plank down, chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Exhale to down dog. Inhale, lift that left leg, step it between the hands. Rotating up for a second warrior one. Rotating onto the ball of the left foot. Exhale, opening up to revolved. Inhale, coming back to center. Exhale, rotating into warrior two. Inhale, lengthening that front leg. Exhale, reaching, coming into triangle. Rolling the shoulder back. Inhale, lift all the way up. Step that foot in slightly if you need to. Rotate the hands open. Revolve triangle. Keep squeezing the legs toward the midline of the body. Inhale, lift all the way up. Maybe step that right foot in slightly, shortening the stance. Take a deep inhale. Exhale. Fold over the front leg. Breathing in nice and deep here. Exhale, plant the hands, step or jump back to your chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Exhale to down dog. Stay here for a few deep clearing breaths. Keep sending the heels downward, pressing through palms, lengthening through the spine, looking between the toes. Long, deep breaths here. Take advantage of the resting posture. Breathing deep into the belly. Bend the knees, flex the feet, step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, look halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, gazing at the thumbs. Exhale, back to center. Take a clearing breath here if you need. You can close the eyes as well. Calm the nervous system down. All right, inhale, lift the hands up, gazing at the thumbs. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, lifting it halfway up. Exhale, jumping back for chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Exhale to down dog. Take a deep breath. Step that right foot between the hands. Then rise all the way up and step the left foot in slightly. So your stance is a little bit short. We're going to come into the pyramid again. Try to bring the hands down to the floor on the exhale. Maybe the fingertips are there. Start to bring the weight into the front leg and lift that back leg up. Trying to straighten the front leg. Holding here. If it's available, maybe you can lift the upper body, bringing the hands behind you. Find the balance first though. Keep breathing. Lift that leg high. And then, with control, try to dig into the right leg and draw that left knee into the chest. Hold here. Breathing in deep. Then, if you have the balance, make sure you have the balance first. Find your point of drishti. Gaze onto the foot. Hold on to the foot. Lift the right hand up. Rotate down, see if you can become a dancer. There's a bit more room in here. So find your balance first. Lift up through the upper body. Start kicking the back leg up. Root down through that big toe and lean forward. Exhale, lift all the way back up. Bring the hand to the belly button if you need the balance. Release that foot back into the floor. You're back in mountain. Take a deep inhale. Lift the hands back up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift. Exhale, jump or step back for chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Exhale, down dog. Lift that left leg up. Step it between the hands. Rising up into the warrior one first. Then shortening the stance. Straightening that front leg. Take a deep inhale. Lift the arms. Exhale, start to fold down. Bringing the weight into that front leg. From here, You can start to think of lifting the back leg as high as possible, digging into that front foot, lifting up through the chest, holding. Try to kick that leg up a little higher. Then, if it's possible, maybe bring the hands off the ground, come into warrior three. Exhale, push into the foot, draw the leg up, hold. Stay strong, find your gaze. Exhale, reach onto the foot or ankle. Start to come into dancer. Lift the hand up, kick back with the back foot, and lean forward. Really strengthening through the legs and the feet. Finding a balance. If you fall out, just come back in. Exhale, come back to center. Release the foot down to the side, you're back in mountain. Take a deep inhale, raise the hands up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, jump or step back, chaturanga. Inhale, lift. Exhale to down dog. Stay here for just a couple of clearing breaths. Really find the strength again in the shoulders. Keep the spine long. Breathe deep, take advantage of the rest. Breathe into the belly, exhale everything out. Take a deep inhale, bend the right knee, step it between the hands, stay low, rotate that left foot open. We're gonna come into side lunge. So hands can, or forearm can come up onto the thigh. You can stay here if you like. Left hand can look overhead, gazing at the hands. If you can go lower, that right arm can come underneath, reaching maybe behind you, and maybe one day getting into the bind. Rolling that shoulder back and holding here. Inhale, look down, take an exhale, roll all the way up, rotate the feet, coming into wide leg stance. Lift the chest, exhale, place the hands on the floor. Take a deep inhale, lift halfway up, gazing at the third eye. Exhale, fold down, try to bring the crown of the head to the floor. Stay here. Keep breathing deep into the body. If it's available, start to walk the hands toward the more inward, underneath the head. Press the hands into the, press the weight into the floor. Start activating the shoulders. Keep letting the crown of the head come down. Hold here a little bit longer. Take an exhale and see if maybe the legs will spread just a little bit more. Don't force it, but just see what's happening in the body. Use the power of the arms to hold the legs up. If you feel pain, back off. Otherwise, try to test your limits. See what becomes available. Maybe the forearms come down to the floor. Use the shoulders to support you. Don't rely entirely on the legs right now. Inhale, lift up through the hands. Find the strength in the feet again and wiggle them in slightly so you can get power in the legs. Lift halfway up. Turn that left foot to face the front. Rotate into your side angle posture. Sink into that hip, maybe staying here. Keep rooting down through the legs, finding the power. That right hand comes up, gazing at the hand. Exhale, that left arm can come down, maybe going for the bind. Holding here. Keep breathing deep. Inhale, look down. Exhale, other hand comes to the floor. We release, come back to center. We're gonna do that again. So looking up at the third eye, keep your legs nice and long. First, having the hands in front of us, bringing the crown of the head toward the floor. As the flexibility develops, walk the hands closer to the midline of the body. Keep bringing the head down. Start to use the shoulders to support the legs. And start to see what happens again. Maybe the legs can go a little wider. Keep breathing, wherever that is. Use the arms to support you. Then maybe see about coming onto the forearms if it's available. Keep holding here nice and strong. Inhale, lifting halfway up, finding the hands, using the shoulders, and then wiggling the feet closer together. And from here, we're gonna just lift all the way back up. Cartwheel the hands back down to the floor. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Take advantage of the rest posture here. Breathing in nice and deep. Take an inhale, bend the knees, flex the feet, step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, look halfway up. Exhale, fold. Take a moment in forward fold and just feel what's happening in the legs. Are you more flexible? Suck the low belly in, bring the crown of the head to the floor. See about wrapping the hands or the forearms around the calves. Think about lifting the hips, rolling the weight onto the toes and gazing at the tip of the nose. Holding here. Exhale, place the hands on the floor. Lengthen, lift halfway up. Exhale, fold. Rise all the way back up, gazing at the thumbs. Hands come to center. Take a clearing breath here. The ups and downs could make you dizzy. Take a couple of deep breaths here, breathing in and out. Calming the nervous system down, letting the blood flow, get balanced. If you're feeling okay, hands can rise up, gazing at the thumbs. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, plant the palms, jump or step back for chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Exhale to down dog. Rotate the hands over, or rotate the shoulders over the hands and look forward, coming to plank. Holding here. Exhale, drop down to the forearms. Hold here. Keep the butt down, keep engaging the core. Now start to do forearm to plank. Moving with your breath, pressing into the hands equally, trying to keep the hips centered so they're not swinging from side to side. You want this to be from the core. Keep lifting, staying strong in the shoulders, strong in the legs, strong in the abs. Just a couple more. Last one. Push back to down dog. Take a couple clearing breaths. Place the weight into the hands, and you can work on the jump through if you want, or you can just come to seated. So if you're doing the jump through, the goal is to get the right foot behind the left ankle and the left foot behind the right, and then swing your legs through and come onto the bottom. From here, I just want to see how we are for time. Okay. So sitting down on the butt, bring the legs in front of you. Activate the feet so the feet are flexed. You might have to remove the flesh off the sit bones. Keep the spine long. Hands will be flat. Place them next to the thighs or the hips, wherever you can reach. Roll the shoulders back, opening up the chest. Chin comes parallel to the floor. On the inhale, tuck the chin and start to push into the hands, keeping the feet active. Breathing here for 10 deep breaths. Breathing, pushing the floor down, activating the upper body. Keep breathing. Keep the feet nice and active so the legs are strong. Take a deep inhale, bend the knees, chaturanga. Exhale, upward facing dog. And then rolling back to down dog. Take a clearing breath here if you need it. Otherwise, bend the knees, flex the feet, and jump back through. Coming back to a similar position. Then from here, we're going to come into reverse tabletop. So you're going to place the hands behind you with the fingers facing inward. Plant the hands, rotate the chest, or rotate the shoulders back so the chest is open. Chin comes parallel to the wall in front of you by slightly having the head tilted back so that it's in line with the spine. Press into the feet, lift up to tabletop. Hold here. Find the strength in the arms. Maybe let the head dangle. Then start doing some hip dips if you have the strength in the triceps. Just lifting the legs up and down. Lowering and raising the pelvis. Keep doing it. 10 here. Keep breathing. Five more. Last one. Exhale, bring the butt back down. Take a sigh of release. If you have it in you, you can do another chaturanga. If not, you can just take a rest pose. Inhale to up dog. Exhale to down dog. Take a clearing breath. Drop the knees down to the floor. Slowly come into child's pose, slowing the heart rate down. Take a few deep breaths. Really breathe into the belly. Keep sending the breath downward. Let everything sink. Allow the heart rate to come down fully. Then slowly, we're going to sit up to Vinyasa. So sitting on top of the heels. Placing the hands on top of the thighs. Roll the shoulders back. Let the chin be parallel to the floor. We're just going to stay here for a few breaths. Again, regulating the blood flow. We did a lot of ups and downs and some strength training. So it's not uncommon to feel a little bit woozy. So if you do, just keep breathing through it. Stay in Vinyasa if it's really bothering you. We're going to prepare for some slight inversions. So we want to make sure everything's even and we don't have any blood flow, any unregulated blood flow happening. Breathing in the belly, exhaling everything out. Keep calming everything down. If you're okay and there's no dizziness, come up to the knees. You can keep the feet flat or tuck the toes. We're going to come into camel. So lifting up nice and tall, pushing the pelvis forward, starting to roll with shoulders back. Bring the head down. Hands can stay on the low back if that's where you are. Otherwise, if you want to go further, you can start to reach for the feet. If you're really dizzy in these postures, keep the head elevated. You don't need to drop it back. Otherwise, drop it back and hold. Keep breathing. Take an inhale, lift the chin. Slowly come back to center. Drop into Vinyasa. You can stay here, or you can always take child's pose if you're feeling a little dizzy. Whatever is better for you. Stay there, keep breathing, waiting for the dizziness to subside. Keep sending the breath deep into the belly, calming the nervous system, calming the cardiovascular system, letting the blood flow return back to normal. When the head gets below the chest, you can get quite dizzy in some of those postures. It's normal. And it should subside. If it takes a little longer, just stay in child's pose. Otherwise, place the hands down, lift up to down dog, send the heels to the earth, gaze between the knees, lengthening the spine, lift the right leg, bend the knee, draw it behind the right elbow, and come into your pigeon, your high pigeon first. Sitting up nice and tall, maybe coming even onto the fingertips. Just rotate those shoulders back, opening up the chest, allowing the hips to sink. Keep breathing here. As the pose develops, maybe you can start to come down lower, moving into swan. Bringing forearms down, staying there at first, waiting for things to open. And then if they do, maybe bringing the chest down to the floor. And stay here, keep breathing into the hips, into the glutes. Take a deep inhale, start to rise up. Wiggle the hands back in front of you. Keep the palms down and stay here and continue waiting for that to open. If the posture is opening and there's no pain on the knee and you can go deeper, next step is to bend the left leg or reach back, coming into king pigeon. Otherwise, just stay in your pigeon pose. And just hold. Opening up through the thigh. Exhale, bring the hands down to the floor. Lift up one last time, tuck the back toes, wiggle the leg in slightly, and then step back to your down dog. And take a couple breaths here if you need, just clearing out the legs, sending any energy out that needs to go. Maybe sinking back to your down dog and lengthening, dropping the head. And then we'll do the same on the opposite side. So bend the left knee, bring it behind the left elbow, try to get the left ankle behind the right wrist. Sit up nice and tall first, maybe even coming onto the fingertips. Opening up the chest and rolling the shoulders back. So you really sink down into that left hip. Breathing here, allowing the body to come down to the floor naturally. Keep sinking. If the pose is opening, you can maybe start to walk forward, moving into swan. Bringing the forearms down to the ground, looking forward. Maybe holding on the forearms first. Seeing what becomes available. And then exploring the option of bringing the chest to the floor if that's in your practice. Staying here for just a couple of breaths, opening up through the hip and into the glute. Then slowly rising back up and walking the hands back toward the body. Lifting up nice and tall, maybe staying here for a couple breaths. Continuing to let things open. If it's in your practice and it's available for you, you can reach back and grab onto that foot. Sit up nice and tall, coming into king pigeon. Lifting up and opening up through the hip. Try to make sure that the sit bones remain even. You're not toppling over. Keep breathing. Exhale, release the foot. Wiggle the right foot in slightly, tuck the toes. Lift up, coming into your down dog. Sending the heels down, staying nice and tall here. Lengthening through the back of the legs, pedaling up the feet too, if that feels nice for you. And I'm just gonna check the time. I think we still have a few minutes left, so we're good. And I'm just gonna get my music going again. Okay, perfect. So from your down dog, we're gonna rotate forward into our plank and just do one last chaturanga, but land on the belly. Keep the hands next to you. We're going to either come into 3 different variations, so you can choose the one that you want. You can come into your cobra, which is the hands hovering. You can come into locust with the legs and arms extended, or you can reach behind you for the feet, coming into bow. Whichever one you prefer, start to assume that position. Take a deep inhale with the forehead on the ground. Exhale, lift, and kick the legs up wherever you are. Rolling the shoulders back, squeezing the shoulder blades if you're in bow, and looking straight ahead. Keep lifting and kicking. A couple more breaths. Exhale, roll back down to the floor. Bring the hands up beside you. Stay here. Keep breathing deep to the belly. Let the heart rate come down again. Keep breathing in nice and deep. Then you're going to sit up. Take a brief child's pose. Moving through tabletop. Stay here again. Exhaling everything out. And then move up to Vajrasana. And then slowly rotate onto the bottom again. We're just going to make our way to the back. So we're going to do a couple different things first. So lay down on the back completely. If you need to place the hands underneath the glutes to keep the low back on the floor, that's fine. Try to keep the back nice and flat. Lift the legs up. We're going to do leg circles. So the exhale, rotating around. Inhaling, they come up. Try to keep the legs as straight as possible. It's okay if there's a bit of a bend. We're getting into the low abs here and in the transverse abdominals. So breathe through it. Just 2 more in this direction. And then when you're done, just rotate to the opposite side and just do 5. Finding the strength in the core by trying to keep the low back completely on the floor. 3 more. And then bring the knees into the chest. Roll the shoulders back. Take a couple of breaths here just to keep resting as we move into the next posture. And then from here, we're going to do leg lifts, including the pelvis tilt. So again, the hands can be by the sides. They can be underneath the glutes. Whatever is better for you. Keep the back nice and straight. Lift the legs up. Exhale. Bring them down to the floor. On the inhale, lift them up and try to lift the pelvis too. See if you can get almost into a quasi shoulder stand. Control it and come back and do it again. Just a couple more. Last one. And again, draw the knees into the chest. Keep the back nice and flat. Roll the shoulders back. A couple more clearing breaths here. Breathing in nice and deep. Then we're going to move into shoulder stand if it's available. If it's not available, just keep the knees tucked into the chest and keep the legs elevated. If you can get into shoulder stand, tuck the knees into the chest first and then push up and use the hands to support the low back. Try to keep the legs as straight as possible. Keep holding here. lifting up through the hips. Staying a little longer. If you want to take this pose further, and you have the flexibility, don't move the neck. Keep the neck nice and straight, looking at the feet. Bend the knees, start to rotate back for plow. Exhale, return back to your shoulder stand. Bend the knees. Slowly roll back onto the back with as much control as possible. Draw the knees into the chest. Roll the shoulders back. Spine nice and long. Stay here for a couple more breaths. If you need to, you can plant the legs on the ground too. Just keep breathing into the belly. Then we're going to do another inversion in just a moment here. Place the feet near the glutes, flat on the ground, the knees bent. Bring the hands near the shoulders, the fingers pointing inward, if this is in your practice. Otherwise, you can just continue taking a rest posture. Place the weight into the hands and into the feet. Roll up onto the crown of the head. Exhale, lift. Exhale, release the head back down to the floor. Roll slightly onto the back. Come up to your seated position, nice and slow. And then take your forward fold, holding onto the feet, and then folding over the legs. Maybe closing the eyes, breathing deep into the belly. Keep the body calm, taking the counter pose. Breathing in and out to the belly. Keep the nervous system nice and calm. Then slowly release the feet. Sit up nice and tall. Take a couple of moments here if you need to with the legs crossed. Placing the hands on the knees. Coming out of the inversions, you want to make sure that there's no dizziness. The heart rate is nice and slow or nice back to normal. Shoulders rolled back, chin parallel to the earth. Breathing deep into the belly. The next posture we're going to work on, if you can't get the legs off of the ground, that's fine. Just work on pressing into the floor. We're still trying to increase the shoulder and tricep strength. So if you can come into lotus, otherwise just sit cross-legged. Find whatever is comfortable for you. And then place the hands next to the hips. Once again, lift the chest up nice and high, roll the shoulders back. If you need to use blocks, it makes it a little bit easier just to find the floor. Otherwise, try to plant the hands, take a deep inhale, and try to lift the butt off the floor. Looking straight ahead, and hold for 10 breaths. Exhale, release down to the floor. Bring the hands to the knees. Sit up nice and tall. Keep the chin parallel to the floor and just breathe. Again, let the heart rate come down if it's up. And then we'll try on the other side. So if you're in the half lotus like I was, maybe think about trying to switch the legs just so we get it balanced. Once you found your position, again, we sit up nice and tall. Just make sure that there's no pain in the knee anywhere. That's really important. Sit up nice and tall, find the balance first. Place the hands on the floor. Find the spot that's gonna work for you. Squeeze the arms inward toward the midline of the body, just like we do in chaturanga, and lift the hips. Exhale, release down to the floor. Hands come back to the knees, roll the shoulders back. Chin comes parallel to the floor. Sit up nice and tall. And then slowly from here, see if you can grab onto the elbows behind you. Lift the chest. You might want to move the feet to whatever's available for you to come into a fold. Sometimes it can be painful on the knees if you don't have the flexibility yet in the hips. So grab onto the forearms or the elbows. Roll the shoulders back. Exhale, fold. Keep breathing in here. Getting deep into the hips and into the glutes. Try to think about bringing that forehead down to the floor. Inhale, lift all the way back up. Bring your hands to the okay signs. Place them on top of the knees. Sit up nice and tall. Lift the back, lift the crown of the head, and stay here for 10 breaths. Try to keep everything else soft in the face. Everything soft everywhere else. Breathing in, exhaling everything out. And then slowly release. Bring the legs out to the width of the mat. Keep the feet nice and flexed. Coming in for one last Pilates roll down. Extend the arms in front of you. Lift the chest, suck the low belly in. Start to slowly roll onto the back. Keeping everything contracted. Once you get to the floor, hands can come down to the sides. Draw the right knee into the chest. Just come into gentle spinal twist and look over the right shoulder. Keep letting everything calm down. Allow the body to start to melt down onto the floor. Feel the facial muscles releasing. Feel the body coming down. Take an inhale, come back to center, and just switch legs. Draw the left leg into the chest. Cross it over the body. And rotate to look over the left shoulder. Letting that left shoulder roll down on the floor. And then slowly rotate back to the center and separate the legs. Make any adjustments with the hips or anywhere else in the body. Let the palms come up, roll the shoulders back. Keep the spine nice and flat on the floor. Close the eyes. Start to allow the body to come completely onto the floor. To feel that melting sensation. Following the breath. Exhaling out of the body. Anything that does not need to be there. Letting the toes get nice and soft. Feeling the hamstrings, the calves, the thighs, all softening. To the knees lifting, the glutes releasing onto the floor. Feel the hips rolling open. Continue to let everything come down. Breathing deep into the belly, exhaling everything out. Just feeling the upper back connected. Letting the shoulders roll open. Feeling the palms getting nice and light and the fingertips softening. Feeling the neck release. The head get heavy. The forehead softens. Between the eyes softens. Feel the mouth releasing and the jaw relaxing. Spend a few more moments here. Shavasana, just giving thanks to yourself for doing a morning practice at home, for the discipline to show up and to do the work. Something that's purely positive, just for you. Keep exhaling to release everything out. And slowly wiggling the fingers and toes, moving the ankles and wrists and rotating the head from side to side. Just bring awareness back to the body. Maybe draw the knees into the chest. Just give yourself a couple of rocks from side to side. Maybe a nice gentle hug. And then extend the arms backward. So we do a good full body stretch. Just exhaling everything out that doesn't need to be there. And then slowly rolling onto the left side of the body. Staying here for a breath or two, just feeling nice and grounded. And then slowly making your way up to Sukhasana. Just stay up nice and tall. With the legs crossed. And then bringing the hands to heart center, just rubbing them back and forth. And just placing them over the eyes, opening up the eyes, and patting down anywhere in the body that there's tightness or stiffness. And just allowing yourself the time to recover. And then bringing the hands to heart center. Thank you very much for joining the class today. I hope that you enjoyed it. As always, I'll be available after if you need any questions, comments, or concerns, or via messenger. So thank you very much for coming. Namaste.